Good morning, everyone. It's me, Astu Pandey from Baz 33, here to demonstrate my Python program, Python code that I developed specifically for port scanning. So, a port scan basically does it scans a port. A port this is not a physical port. This is a virtual port. So, whenever a website wants to host something, it hosts on port 80 or 443 because that is because the port numbers are for the HTTP and HTTPS respectively. S- So it mainly goes out there in the internet and searches the target if there is an open port or not. So let's look at the code. There are mainly five types of Python model that is used here. For example, the socket model for the scanning for the port scanning main for the port scanning main code for the date and time and the tick inter for the GUI, and there is also logging functionality, and it keeps logging functionality there, and there is also unit test to check the code. So let's look at here. So the logging functionality. So it so a port scanner.log file is created in the same directory, and it gives us the logging info and the format time, that means the date and time, and also some messages. And it's so let's scan. We have defined the scan port start and endpoint. So we have used the socket model and that socket.afnet6 whether the given IP address is IPv4 or not, and there's also a timeout, and the result checks the IP address and port, and while connecting it gives it if it gives the result 0, that means the port is open, whereas the port is closed. So we can also see there is a error handling here, and it gives us failed to connect to the target, and it closes. So this is some unit testing I have done here on my local machine with the port 1881. So we have defined a scan button, and it takes the entry as well as the start and end point, and it tries and the code tries here, and if the start and if the starting point is less than 0, then it gives port number out of range, as well as if the port number is out of the range, that means that 65535 is the maximum number of port. So if it goes past, then it gives us a error message saying the port number is out of range. And we can also not make the end port smaller than is smaller than the starting port. So if the starting point is 5, we can make the end point 0, end port 0, and it gives a, a message here in the message box. So we can see here, if we type something error, so it gives us some error message of saying that the IP address is not valid, or the an error occurred during scanning. So we have defined open and close port, and this gives helps us to clear the previous result, and this code helps us to keep the date and time, and it gives us year, month, date, hour, minute, and second as well. And if the port is open, it is kept in the logging functionality, and if the port is cold, it is not in the database. So I have also added this the router destroy, that makes a functionality like a close button. When I click the close button, it destroys the GUI basically. So this is the GUI setup I have done. In the GUI setup, there is this title that is name is port scanner, which which is the title of this my project. And I've set the background to light gray, and this is for the IP address. This is padding, so it sits on the middle. And there is also port range, starting port and end port, and it also displays the result in a white box. And there is a scan functionality, a clear functionality, a close functionality, and this is for the unit testing. So let's now run the code. So we can see this is our default port scanner. So we can type some IP like this, 8888. This is the Cloudflare. So I know that the port 53 is open for the DNS. So let's use 52 to 54. Let's scan it. So while scanning, the open port is highlighted in green color, and the open port is always on the first. And we can also see there is two closed port, and it is denoted as needed by this red color. So we can clear this result. This is a clear functionality. So we can again scan it. It gives the same result. We can close we can close with this functionality as well as this functionality. So let's try something. So let's try some error handling. So 0. The starting point is 52 and the end point is 0. So if we try to scan it, it doesn't help us to scan it. So let's try something number like this. This is the port number, and it is out of range. So let's try something like 8888, which is not a valid IP address. So it gives us error that tells it failed to connect to the target. Okay. Dot ABC scan. It also didn't it couldn't connect. So why? So let's openly scan. So it gives us in so yeah. There are some error handlings here done. So we can close this functionality. And I have all in the beginning I have told that I have done some unit testing, and the unit testing result shows that it ran two tests in 4 seconds, and both of them are okay. So this code doesn't have any problem with this that I have also made that I have used the Python logger code. So it so it makes a log file. So let's view the log file. This is the log file that I have done. So this is from December to February. So we can see when I was delivering the code, I tried, and when the service 53 was open, it gives the service name as well as domain. While port 80 was open, it gives service HTTP, and while 443 it gives us HTTPS. So these are some port scanning that we have done, that 28. And and there are here the service is not given, mainly something happened. So this is my demonstration of my Python code. So let's look at l- let's view the last code here. Last time. Thank you for viewing my YouTube. Thank you for viewing my project. Thank you.